FIFA said it was an excellent and remarkable bid, but England will not be staging the 2018 World Cup. Russia will. Despite the best efforts of the English bid team, including Prince William, the Prime Minister and David Beckham, and days of intense lobbying, it was not to be. Live now to Alex Thomson in Zurich tonight. Alex.
Yes, John, the Russians have pulled it off, and it has to be said, done so in some style. And on the same day that, away from here, Russia was accused of being a mafia state and fell foul of the European Court and was ordered to pay almost €2 million compensation for deaths in Chechnya. Well, now for England, of course, there's enormous disappointment at today's vote after the intense lobbying across the week. But all that seemed to produce just 2 votes in the first round for the bid, and one of those was from the English delegate.
Well, it is bitterly disappointing. I think, according to FIFA, we had the best technical bid. No one could identify any risks of coming to England. I think we had the strongest commercial bid, and the country is passionate about football. But it turns out that's not enough. But a huge credit to the team. They put on a very strong bid. They worked extremely hard. They'll all be very disappointed, as am I, as I'm sure most of the country will be too.
Well, our FIFA's stated ambition is, of course, to develop and to expand football globally. Well, today's decision will certainly do that, but in Russia rather than in any of the established European footballing nations, of course. Keme and Nzerem now reports on how the Russian bid knocked out England, Spain and Portugal and the Netherlands-Belgium bids amid a day of hopes, tension, triumph and deflation for some.
So the 2018 FIFA World Cup, 2018 FIFA World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, will be organized in Russia.
The bookies were wrong. They always were the favourites. Russia's simple message to FIFA: it's our turn. Prince William looked on in disbelief. The head of the England bid just stared into space. Football's frontiers are moving.
And if there's one thing that FIFA values above all else, it's taking football to new places, to new lands, to Russia. Team England had promised a fight till the bitter end. Their faces said it all.
Because they didn't even get past the first round of voting. What went wrong? They deployed the future King of England and a community worker from Mossad, but modern England was no match for the new Russia.
I really don't think we could have done any more. I think
You threw everything at it.
yeah, we did, and I think it's like a football match when you've given it everything. It wasn't to be for whatever reason.
And as the team beat a dejected retreat, it got worse. England, it transpired, garnered just 2 supporters, and one of them was their own.
Well, obviously I'm extremely disappointed, and so is the team. We had a very strong bid. Sadly, it didn't work out. The guys have been doing a fantastic job, a real professional campaign, and I'm immensely proud of them. Congratulations has to go to Russia. You know, they won, and well done to them. I'm sure it'll be a very good World Cup.
And Russia has its work cut out. Their final presentation promised FIFA a new future for their sport. But first, they have to build 13 new stadiums, a new rail and road network, and overcome deep-rooted corruption that foreign diplomats claim is alive and kicking, and not just in football. It fell to Vladimir Putin's deputy to provide reassurance. The World Cup is in safe hands.
You haven't trusted us with FIFA World Cup for 2018. And I just can promise, we all can promise, you will never regret. Let us make history together.
And not only will the 2018 World Cup break new ground, so will the following one. Qatar, where alcohol is banned and daytime temperatures can top 40 degrees, promised they'd air-condition their stadiums. Then they'll ship them to Africa. It was, apparently, an irresistible offer. The FIFA boss, Sepp Blatter, was delighted.
Never the World Cup has been on one side in Russia or in Eastern Europe. This is new land. And here we go to Middle East. And Middle East was awaiting, and I would say the Arabic world was awaiting for a long time to have the World Cup. Now you have it. So I'm a happy president when we speak about development of football.
And while Russia celebrates, for England, the Inquisition. Their bid fatally undermined. It's being suggested tonight by English journalists alleging FIFA corruption.
I don't want to speculate about what happened, and it would be wrong, because clearly I think we had an absolutely fantastic bid, but the feedback that we're getting from people inside the executive committee is, yes, certainly there was a great deal of upset and a strong negative reaction caused by their perception of what the English media was reporting.
David Beckham had said he was used to last-minute scrambles, but Team England may just have been wasting their time.
You know, we're obviously disappointed.
Keme, Nzerem, Channel 4 News, Zurich.
Well, now, the man really in charge of England's bid, the man that we've been seeing here late at night, personally trying to cajole and persuade those 22 FIFA delegates, is David Dein. I caught up with him a little earlier.
I would like to pay tribute to everybody who backed us, from Prime Minister Prince William, David Beckham, all our ambassadors, the host cities, all our fans. I just feel very disappointed for them all.
By common consent, there's no question the performance, the selling was slick, perhaps the slickest, and yet it was totally out of line. The English bid fell at the first round.
I think it was always going to be an uphill battle, and I'm not going to go into it now, but obviously certain elements didn't help us along the way when you're really trying to win votes.
You have to mean the Mail on Sunday in Panorama.
I'm not going to say that at all. All I'm just saying is when you want everybody to get behind us, it was difficult. It was, it was one of those situations, and we had a great technical report. The economic study was positive. You have to say the presentation today was excellent. Everybody said it was probably the best. So it's difficult to comprehend why, and sometimes this is football, isn't it? That sometimes the best team doesn't win.
You keep saying in this interview it was always going to be an uphill struggle. It's pretty obvious what you're talking about.
Well, football politics, rather like politics in general, don't necessarily go in a straight line. And it was difficult. It was always going to be, right from the onset, it was going to be an uphill task.
Come on, late at night, the delegates had to have raised the issue of corruption. We can tell by what you're saying here, that happened, didn't it?
I'm not going to go into that, but it was just the elements, and once we were having to jump hurdles all the time. And congratulations to the winners, that's all we can say.
David Dein there, the England 2018 international president, speaking to me earlier. Now, the inquest into what went wrong for England will, of course, last for a long time. They're promising a press conference here in Zurich tomorrow. We'll have more from Switzerland a little later in the programme, but for now, back to John for the rest of the day's news.
Alex Thomson in Zurich.